All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol WKHS, Workhorse Group Inc. And before we jump into this chart, welcome to my first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to my channel, Invest for Tomorrow. Hope you guys find this video helpful and informative. And to all my subscribers, welcome back, and let's jump into this chart. So Workhorse has had a great recovery since the 24th after dipping. It started to rise again, and on the 25th, right, from the 24th and towards the beginning of the 25th, the bulls have reappeared. They've reappeared and they broke through the 50-day moving average, used it as support, and from that moment forward, the bulls have moved from that end of being back on bullish territory, working its way up to newer highs and further away from the 50-day moving average. So bulls are having a recovery. Now, they did have a bearish run here on Workhorse. So the bulls have not reached yet full potential of recovery until they break through $31 and some change. I'm just going to round it down to $31. That's a significant number right now for the bulls. Now, they leveled it off and closed out at 28.13. They're not that far from it, and they've moved from around $22 up to 28. That's a $6 difference, and now they're $3 away from breaking through new highs and reaching new levels of resistance. So Workhorse Group Inc. is back on track with the bulls, and we're going to have to see how this continues to play out. This is a great way to start the week after breaking through resistance. And yes, 2 times it almost used it as support, and 3 times resistance was broken through. The bears tried to bring it down, and then finally they broke through it and had momentum. So let's move our resistance level to its new location, and we're going to move our support levels to its new location. So I'm going to do this narrowed down, and then we're going to talk about this a little bit in a broader spectrum. So on the bulls end, like I stated, $31 is one of the most important points right now for this to break through and the bulls start to hit new highs. But before getting there, they have to break through the first resistance level. Now, on a bearish trend in a more wider spectrum other than this support level we got here, the bears, if they try to break through 25.04, that is a big point to pay close attention to, right? If 25.04 gets touched or gets broken through, because this is getting a lot closer to the 50-day moving average, and the bears are starting to bring this down in the direction that they want. So that's going to be very important. But before that gets there, right, we have to narrow it down and see the lowest point here of the bears appearing before this bullish run. Now, I'm going to start with the 50-day moving average. 50-day moving average is 24.91. Very important. Write that down. As long as we're above it, the bulls are in control. The moment we cross that, the bears have not gained control, but they're gaining leverage on their way to bring this down to newer lows and get it deeper into bearish territory. So super important to keep that as a point of reference on what side of the chart we're on. And right now, we're significantly above the 50-day moving average at 28.13. And our 50-day moving average is, again, 24.91. Now, for the bulls to continue this momentum and work their way up to newer highs, the first resistance level they're going to have to reach, which is the highest point in this run, and it got rejected towards the last hour of the day, is 28.63. The bulls need to break through 28.63, turn that into a support so they can start to work their way up to newer highs and new resistance levels. Very important for the bulls to keep that in mind, that they need to break through resistance to continue the momentum and continue to work their way up to the highs they need to reach and new resistance levels, and then obviously work their way up to $31, as I stated earlier, and that's the highest peak of this stock being reached. Once 31 is broken through, this could take off to newer highs and new resistance levels if they turn it into a support. Now, on the other end, the bears. The bears are going to want to tear this down as much as they can. And the first support level, which is the lowest point that the bears had reached this right before the bulls appearing, was 25.61. Now, they were reaching lower points an hour before on these two candlesticks, on this 30-minute and another 30-minute, which is 1 hour in total of the candlesticks, but those are not the ones right before the run. So this is the lowest point before the bulls having this run and bringing this up to newer highs after bringing it up and leveling off, and that is 25.61. The bears are going to want to break through it, and I want to emphasize how important it is to pay very close attention to how the stock is reacting as it gets closer to 25.61, and could the bulls use it as support to bounce back, or are the bears going to tear through it? And then there's that area of uncertainty between the 50-day moving average and the support level of this stock hanging out around that area, or is it going to cross the 50-day moving average with the bears tearing it down, bringing it to newer lows and new support levels fairly quickly? So that's something to keep in mind. So even though the support gets broken through, it is still in bullish territory, but as long as the bulls don't allow it to break through and move quickly to newer lows, they could probably have a recovery and keep themselves above the 50-day moving average and bring this back in an upward direction. So very important to keep in mind the behavior of this stock at 25.61, and 28.63 needs to be broken through by the bulls so this can continue its momentum to work its way up to newer highs and new resistance levels. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe, but don't forget to click on the bell. By clicking on the bell, you turn on all notifications so that you don't miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button and let me know you watched this video. At the end of this video, there's going to be a pop-up video, and in that video, I talk about the S&P 500, and it's a strategy I've been using as the market was rising since March till now, and even as the market has been falling, it's actually still been working for me. I go into detail on how the Federal Reserve has scheduled dates to pump the market, and based off of how the S&P reacts on those dates, I've come to notice that there is a pump being distributed amongst the Fortune 500 companies. I know that we use the Dow and the NASDAQ to track also the economy as well as the S&P 500 and the overall market. I've chosen the S&P 500 because there's a lot of blue chip stocks and American founded companies that America is driven on. And I just figured, well, if the pumps are going somewhere, it's going to stay in America. And most of the Fortune 500 companies are American-based companies. And I tend to see these specific ticker symbols and companies rise 30 cents upwards to $3 and maybe even more. If you guys find one out there, there may even be other ticker symbols rising more than $3. But to keep it realistic and not optimistic, I have seen myself per share these stocks move up 30 cents to $3. I am not here to tell you guys to buy, sell, or hold. I'm just here to inform you guys on the great news that there's an opportunity to still make money while the Federal Reserve is pumping the markets and creating the opportunity to make some profits. So check out the video. I don't want you guys to miss out on it. There's some vital information in there. I go into more detail. And obviously you have to do your due diligence and research. And I'm not telling you guys to buy, sell, or hold. I'm just here to enlighten you guys and help every viewer and investor to know something that a lot of people are overlooking and many investors are not even talking about. So check it out. Click on the video. If it hasn't already popped up, should be popping up soon. Click on the video. Don't miss out on that great information. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.